CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
And good morning and welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm your host, Gloria Neal. And for the next half hour, we'll be talking about Angels Among Us Pet Rescue. It is the Atlanta-based nonprofit group that's dedicated to saving dogs and cats from high-kill shelters in North Georgia. Luann Farrell is the co-founder of Angels Among Us, and she joins us along with Beth Hale, who is media relations spokesperson. And Luann, let me start with you because I understand that your particular rescue organization has saved almost 10,000 lives since 2009. That's outstanding.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, and we are very proud of that fact. Georgia has a lot of animals end up in shelters just due to a lot of times no fault of their own, whether it be abandoned, stray, even owner surrender, which happens quite often. And a lot of these pets end up being euthanized in these shelters just due to overcrowding and lack of space.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and that's something I think a lot of people don't realize.
That's exactly right. They don't, if they go to the shelter and surrender their animal, they don't realize that that animal could lose its life.
Beth Hale, is there something, you know what, I'm going to call you Beth because you said, Glo, stop with the Beth Hale.
There you go.
Give me Beth. So when you hear that, or when people hear those kinds of numbers and that fact, what do you say to folks to really drive that point home?
Well, we try to get them to understand that every life that's in a shelter is begging for a second chance. They're not there because they asked to be. They're there because someone either voluntarily surrendered them, or they were a stray found on the side of the road, or it's all overcrowding. We try to raise the awareness of the public that it's not like a boarding place. It is a place that often ends up in euthanization. And so education is absolutely the key.
You know, here's something else too, because is the facility, is it a shelter, is it a facility, is it a brick and mortar building?
Angels does not have a facility, actually. We have been blessed with amazing amounts of foster homes, or amazing foster homes that take these dogs in and cats and actually get them back on their feet, literally in most cases, because a lot of these animals are broken and they really need a home, and they're safe, well taken care of until we can find their forever homes.
And let's talk about these animals. Do you think they know that they're safe once you all bring them in?
Oh, they absolutely do. I mean, from the perspective of, I've gone to shelters, and you look in those eyes and they know that they're safe. And I give them the pledge that they will never be abused, neglected, or starved another day of their life.
Oh, that is so very important too. I know when you start talking about animals. So let's talk about some very important do's and don'ts which set your organization apart from a lot of the others.
Well, we will never leave a family member behind.
Okay.
We have a lot of times that there's like a mother with puppies. We always take the puppies and the mother. We've actually been known to go back and get another mother because we weren't sure which mother it actually was. We're known actually to take in dogs that other people can't. The ones that are probably either physically have been hit by a car, have bad physical problems, and Angels can actually go in and we'll take those.
Oh, wow. A lot of people don't recognize that. They don't even know that that happens. They just think that, you know, you take as they come in, or there is no rhyme or reason to this. And actually, there is.
Right. And there are some rescues that are breed specific. And that's another thing that we pride ourselves on. We don't breed discriminate. Every animal that is in need, doesn't matter what breed they are, be it dog or cat.
Do you think folks are too quick to go to the mall or go to a breeder or go someplace else as opposed to looking at rescued pets to adopt a pet?
Right.
I really do think so. I think that people are under the impression that in these shelters are these, mean, aggressive dogs, and they don't understand that these are family pets that have ended up there at no fault of their own. And we were recently blessed to have a lot of coverage on our hugging dogs, and that's what we really tried to bring home, is to see these two animals that are amazing, and their interaction on film, that these are great animals and they're out there. Go to your local shelter, go to your local rescue groups, save these animals, because there's purebreds in there. There's loving, old, young.
Absolutely.
And Beth, I was going to ask you about the abuse of animals. So
Right.
many times we see it on our TV. We see animals that are abused. And what do you want folks to know about animals that are abused and what your organization is doing to stop that, to help them?
Sure. Well, Angels Among Us not only recognizes the need to greatly decrease the overcrowding and the pet population in Georgia, we've also begun to realize that we really need to be proactively involved in helping to stem the tide of abuse and harm and neglect. The cases are alarmingly on the increase, and just the cases that we've seen and been involved with in trying to save lives in the last 6 to 12 months, they're horrific and they're heartbreaking. You know, we often talk about our organization's mission statement, rescue one until there are none, but honestly, we literally want to work ourselves out of a job. We pray for the day that animal rescue will no longer be needed or required.
Right.
And even though that's a lofty and some might say an unrealistic goal, we know with better education of humane treatment of animals, and that starts with our children in our schools, and educating the general public about the benefits of spaying and neutering pets, that we can begin to greatly stem the tide of not only unwanted births, but of the abuse and neglect cases. That in turn takes pressure off of our shelters, and they can start working toward being a no-kill shelter, and it takes pressure off of us.
Right.
It's a win-win all the way around.
Absolutely.
So this morning we want to really encourage everyone to get proactively involved in legislation and helping the Georgia become a no-kill state. We know if we work together, we can make that dream a reality for the state of Georgia.
And Beth, when you say it, I believe it.
I'm passionate about it.
Absolutely. No, and I understand
is so
why. I
important.
understand. We're going to take this break. And ladies, when we come back, we are going to meet some of those families that really are currently up for adoption through Angels Among Us. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back to Public Affairs on Peach, everybody. And we are here with Peggy Rydberg and Linda Dyack, and they both have brought some adorable dogs who are up for adoption. So you got to describe who you have here. So tell me who you have.
So today I brought Philly and Socks. They are part of the Major League Baseball litter. 13-week-old chime mixes, and as you can tell, absolutely adorable.
They are.
They will probably end up staying the size, not much bigger, just because of their parents. But as you can see, ready for adoption.
Oh my goodness, how old are they?
13 weeks tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, and so just as adorable, cute as a button, as they would say. Cute as a button. And so no concerns there other than their pets and probably chew up a pair of pumps, but we love them anyway.
Well, what will happen, they are actually the last 3 of a litter of 6 that were picked up by Angels. And again, ready for adoption for a family who's looking for a smaller dog. And whether it be townhouse or backyard, just someone who's willing to play with them, toss the ball a little bit, and enjoy such fun, cuddly fun.
And ideal for kids.
Absolutely. They can actually be, you know, someone with kids, or maybe it's, you know, a single couple in a townhouse just looking for that little love button to give some to give some love to.
Right, right. And Peggy, who do you have?
I have Roby, and he is approximately 4 years old. He's a Jack Russell Chihuahua mix, and he has just a splash of pug because he has that adorable underbite. He loves everyone and everything. He's great with kids. He plays with other dogs. He likes to snuggle. He does have a medical issue, but it's very treatable. He has had seizures in the past, but since he started taking his medication, he has not had one seizure. It's just a little small pill he takes every morning, and he's good to go. He is an angel ambassador, though, I have to tell you. He comes around with me on the humane education team, and we go to classrooms and educate kids about spade, neuter, adoptions, rescue, because that's where it all starts, is with the children.
Right, it does. And how old is Roby?
He's 4 years old.
Oh, and
he
so
is-
well
yes.
behaved.
Oh, he just loves to snuggle in bed. He burrows under the covers, and he's just an awesome dog.
He is an awesome dog. You talk about being an ambassador and spade and neuter. Talk a little bit about the importance of that, and even individuals, owners who surrender their pets. Make them understand the significance of that and when they do that and what that means really.
And what we normally run into with the animal rescue is the fallacy of owner surrender, and what that truly means when an owner voluntarily turns their animal pet into a shelter. What happens actually is just the opposite. Normally, it's the ones who are turned in first are the first one to go on the list. Sadly, that's saying that usually when an animal is picked up by the animal shelter, they're giving a stray hold, which is a temporary time. With owner surrender, that's not the case. They're the first ones on the euthanization list. And as you know, that's the last thing you want to happen, you know, to an animal that you've loved on for years as your pet. So if we could look into having people more educated in that fallacy, it would help.
Right, absolutely. And some very important information, because people think, oh, they'll be there forever, and that's not the case.
No, they'll be taken care of, and that's not the case. They're the first one on the euthanization list.
Good. So it's not necessary for folks to go out and buy a $100 or $1,000 pet. You can come and actually save an animal's life.
Absolutely. Adopt, don't shop. That's what Angels Among Us is for.
Love that. Adopt, don't shop. So you've seen the dogs. When we come back, some wonderful little kitties looking for a home. Stay with us, everybody. We are back on Public Affairs on Peach, and we're talking about the fantastic animal services provided by Angels Among Us. Araceli Dunn and Marissa Pryor from the Angels are with us right now. And Araceli, tell our viewers how they can adopt a dog or a cat from Angels.
Well, the process is very thorough but very simple. If someone is interested in one of our dogs or cats, they would go to our website at angelsrescue.org and click on the Adopt button, and there they would fill out an application. Again, it's very thorough. Once they submit that, it comes to our adoption team. We have adoption coordinators both on the cat side and on the dog side that reach out to the applicants and review the application with them. They want to learn about the home environment. They want to learn about schedules, because they're trying to make sure that it's a good fit for the cat or the dog. Then once they do the preliminary review, we do check vet references. We will do a home check, but once the initial approval is done, then the application is forwarded to the foster to reach out to the applicant and discuss the dog or cat more in depth and determine if it's a good fit to move forward with a meet and greet.
Oh, okay. And so it's the same for dogs and for cats. So you guys are pretty thorough.
Yes, we are thorough. If they're renting, we do make sure that the landlord approves, you know, that they have a pet. Right. Like I said, then it's based on what the foster determines if it's a good fit or not to be able to move forward with a meet and greet.
Now, what's included in adoption fees?
The adoption fees, it's a great opportunity. The fees include an amazing value of services. All of our dogs get spayed or neutered, as well as all vaccinations that are age appropriate prior to being adopted, and flea treatments as needed.
Oh, good.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also our cats, they also get spayed or neutered at an age appropriate time as well. They're microchipped. Actually, both dogs and cats are microchipped for their safety, so just in case they get lost or separated from their family.
In there. That's
yes,
good.
It's an amazing value. Cats also get flea treatment as well, and deworming, and then of course they're also up to date on all their shots before being adopted, because that's important for their health.
All of those things, very, very important. So, Marissa, you got to tell us about the kitty that you have here today. So, tell us who you got.
This big guy is Dr. Pepper. He is a cross-country traveler. He is a stowaway. He's 3 years old. He's an amazing personality. He started out with a family somewhere in Oregon.
Oh, wow.
And he decided he wanted to see a little bit of the country and crawled into somebody's U-Haul one day. 5 days later, he ended up here in Atlanta, unbeknownst to the people that opened the door to find him. And the people who found him knew of Angels.
Beautiful.
And so they contacted us, and we had to make him an angel to find him a new home in the local ATL. But he loves a great lap, and he loves his family. He is fostered with dogs, which he'll tolerate, and other cats. But he's a cheese ball, and he loves to just cuddle up with his person and watch whatever you are watching on TV and follow you through the house.
Well, with how I got it, you should have named him Gypsy. And Araceli, tell us about the kitty that you have. And I understand you're the foster.
I am. This is one of my little foster babies. His name is Spiky. He is a boy and about 4.5 months old. He came from a feral mom. We still put him through animal control to get the release, but he's super, super cuddly. He loves to be held. He actually can be cradled like a little baby. He is up to date on all his vaccines. He's neutered. He's microchipped. He loves people. He does play. Right now he wants to get a little frisky, but he's just a good boy and a good home for him. He likes to play with other cats, but he really loves human attention, so he doesn't need to be in a home with other cats at all. So we're hoping someone reaches out to us and gives him a good home.
You know what? You all have such an array of dogs and cats. Is there any way that people can look on the website and see what's available?
Absolutely. They can go to our Angels website and they can choose between dogs and cats. And not only that, the great thing is if the picture appeals to them, they click on the picture, it links them over to Pet Finder, and it's like it matches. It gives the bio. So the foster parent writes the bio based on the dog or cat's disposition and what its ideal environment would be in, and tells their age, approximate weight, and then the applicant at that point, if they want to move forward, can just go online and submit an application for them.
Oh, wow. Now, will it tell them if they're good with kids or not good with kids?
Yes, well, we will. We'll tell that, we'll put that in the description. Most of us do,
right.
Because we definitely don't want people to apply that aren't a good fit for them.
Absolutely. That is really, really good. And so a lot of times when you have cats and dogs, sometimes people think, well, do you need a big yard? Should you have a small yard? Or how can you get away with that? Do you need a doggy run? Is that taken into account?
Absolutely. So when in the application review process, one of the questions is, a yard, is it fenced in? What type of fence?
Right.
Because the approval is a general approval, but not for every single dog or cat. Right. Some dogs are very energetic, need a fenced yard. Other dogs, very laid back, quiet, can live in an apartment or a condo.
Right.
So it totally depends on the dog, the situation, its disposition, and the applicant's environment.
Oh, that is excellent. Ladies, sounds like y'all got it together. Well, for more information on how to adopt from Angels Among Us, please check out the website, check out the website at angelsrescue.org, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Public Affairs on Peach, and we are wrapping up our show on Angels Among Us, Pet Rescue, and Beth Hale joins us. I call her Beth, and we want to talk about how viewers can help the efforts of understanding the needs of Angels Among Us. So talk about some of those needs.
Okay. Well, I know, Gloria, you've heard the phrase, it takes a village.
Yes.
Well, in animal rescue, it truly does take a village. It takes a village of hundreds and hundreds of willing and able volunteer hearts. Our organization is built on the very foundation of volunteerism as well as donations, and we're so proud of those that have bonded with us and are carrying the banner with us. And frankly, if it wasn't for our volunteers and our fosters and foster homes and our financial support, we could not do what we do every day. And right now, our biggest need is for foster homes. If we lack foster homes, then that stops our opportunity because we don't have a brick and mortar to rescue and save pets.
And a lot of people don't understand. So when you say brick and mortar, you don't have a building where people can bring a pet.
Correct.
So they can spend the night after night to house it until somebody does come along and adopt that pet.
Absolutely. We are totally dependent on our foster homes to do that. And this is a place where the pet can come from being rescued and have a landing place, so to speak, where they can rest and relax and just breathe deep and maybe have the best night's sleep they've had in a long time, because they're trying to get past that trauma of being in a noisy and scary and oftentimes deadly shelter. Yeah. Now, foster homes offer food and water and love and hugs and just a place to finally feel safe. And Angels Among Us, we provide all of the medical and surgical needs and pay for that, and that includes monthly preventatives as well as heartworm treatment. Oh. And we do that until this rescued pet is formally adopted. And if you'd like to join our little village of volunteers, we have a way, because we are always needing help. Folks can go to our website at angelsrescue.org, and they can click on the tab marked volunteer, and it will guide them through what they need to do to apply to be a volunteer. But if you'd like to be a foster home, and we really need those badly, if you go to our website at angelsrescue.org and click on the tab marked volunteer, then once you get there, you're only a few clicks away from beginning to save lives.
And that's really what people will be doing, saving
Absolutely.
lives of dogs and cats and those animals that are in dire need of help.
Absolutely. We have prepared a video, and we want to show that to everyone today. As much as we'd all like to believe that we can do everything, we know that not one person can do everything. But we also know that everyone can do something. We always say, if you can adopt, please adopt and don't shop for a pet. But if you cannot adopt, foster a dog or cat. If you can't foster, volunteer on a team. If you can't volunteer, sponsor a rescued pet. And if you can't sponsor, donate to the needs of the organization. And if you cannot donate, you can advocate, you can educate, you can join us on our Facebook and all of our social media and care and share and join with us on this journey that we're on. Because really, folks, there are no excuses. Everyone can do something, and you can do it for those voiceless animals that are caught behind a metal cage in a shelter and are begging for a second chance in life. Watch this video and please consider joining us in our mission to rescue one until there are none.